Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Jack Stocken's beginner class. I see we've got a new student this morning, Rick, and some students that have been with us before, so welcome back. Just briefly, if anybody has a problem with a technical problem, please try and not put a comment in the comment box. That's really just for the students to communicate with Jack. Please use the golden widget down the bottom of the page, or if all else fails, try to use the link that's on the class page. You'll find that in the email that was sent to you. Now, we do have a record button that we need to keep going so that all the students who can't be here today can watch the show later. So we'll just get that going. Here we go. There we are, that's going now. And it's time that I invited Jack Stocken up. You all know Jack, he's a fabulous teacher and he's such a great communicator. So without further ado, we invite Jack up to the stage.
Morning, Franny.
Morning, how are you?
Yeah, I'm well this morning, thank you. Yes, nice and sunny outside, which makes a change here in England. It's not raining.
Oh dear, it's quite different to where I am. We've been kayaking today and I'm a bit sunburnt.
Oh gosh, yeah, very different. Well, all's good. And I've just sent you a message on the Skype actually, Franny, just for your to WhatsApp me. Well, just in case I lose connection or the computer goes down or something, it's quite good just to have a phone as an emergency.
Yep, yeah. I've got that here.
No rush. Just WhatsApp me, and then at least if there is an emergency with the connection, I can contact you. Okay. Yeah. So sure. Very occasionally the computer goes down, but very occasionally. Well, today it's all about responding to one of a suit. If I open one heart, let's say how you respond, Franny. We did responding to one no Trump last week. Now that's a very different ball game, of course. You respond 0 to 10. The rule book goes out of the window, and we're going to do a bit on opening lead as well.
Oh, that's a great class. The opening lead. So important. Oh, that'll be very interesting. Yeah. I'm sure your students will like that.
Yes, they're all revved up and ready to go.
Ready to go.
As I say, Rick has just joined us, which is great. I think quite a few have just joined actually in the last week or two, and they're catching up the previous lessons in replay, which is one of the main advantages of having online bridge teaching. Before lockdown and whatever, you couldn't replay Jack Stocken's lessons. You had to turn up to a cafe in Harrogate. Well, above a cafe, we had the private room in the centre of town. Good, Franny. Well, shall I get on?
Yep, I'll disappear and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
See you on the other side. Thanks for the intro, Franny. Let's get started, everyone. And warm welcome. Hopefully it's a warm welcome if you're watching in replay as well. A big part of our class, and you could be watching these, of course, in the morning, afternoon, or evening. Let's get underway. Responding to one of a suit and opening lead. So we're going to do two things today, mainly responding to one of a suit. And morning to all those in the chat box, of course, Jeremy, Helen, Stephen, Amelie, Leslie, Judy, PJ, Richard, and others. Here we go. Well, it's called the 6-point rule. I don't really like to talk them, really talk about rules too much in bridge. Makes it sound like double maths. But yeah, this is important. If I open one heart, let's say, I'm the opener. You're known as responder, my partner, and you really must respond with 6 points or more. 0 to 5, you pass. The thing is, the reason why it's 6 points is that I might have as many as 19 or 20 when I open. Yeah. You might miss a game. Good? I think we've been doing that over the last few weeks anyway, so it's hardly kind of breaking news. Okay, so I've opened, let's put this theory into practice, as we always do via the slides. Such a good way of learning, me asking you in the chat box and those watching in replay what you do. So I've opened a heart, I've got 12 points or more, and I've got 4 hearts or more. That's all you know about my hand. It's very open. What would you bid with that, if anything? You're my partner, known as responder. You've got 6 points. Let's get going. Those in the chat box. Those in replay. Put your thinking cap on as well. Oh, Richard's in Harrogate as well. I could almost shout to you, I think, Richard. Polls from Ireland. That's good. We have a strong Irish contingent poll in our online classes. Rob's on board. Repton, David G. Rick, who's been watching in replay and he's catching up, which is great. I imagine many of you are. You catch up in replay and then you join the live class. Yeah. And the lessons aren't totally, well, I mean, they are in a structured order, but it doesn't really matter that you will have missed out on 1 or 2 probably. For example, you missed out on haven't caught up with last week's lesson on responding to one no trump. You can certainly come and join this live class. It's totally separate. It is 1 spade. Well done. Yeah, 6 points or more. Keep the conversation going and bid the longest suit at the cheapest level. It wouldn't be a good idea to bid 2 clubs there. No, 1 spade is fine. That's the major suit as well. Good habit to get into. Well done. The chat box was, I think, universal in 1 spade. Here's another one. I've opened 1 heart. And this time, you've got 5 points. Leslie's got a question. Well, we haven't done the 1 no trump responder yet, Leslie, but it's always better to mention the 4-card major rather than replying 1 no trump at the 1 level in answer to your question. Kate, good morning. Repton, of course. Stephen, you're all passing because you only got 5 points. That's like 0 to 5, you pass. Good. Game is very unlikely. Yeah, fairly simple. Should we move on? I've opened 1 club. This time you got 5 diamonds and 4 hearts. What do you respond with this one, do you think? If anything, with 6 points. It's probably something I say, or used to say, well, I still do. I do travel around. I run bridge holidays, as some of you know. Yeah, the expression I use probably more than anyone was respond with your longest suit at the lowest level. Oh, morning, Charlotte. I know Charlotte. I've taught Charlotte bridge. One of the few I've taught bridge face-to-face on the online community. Amelie. Yeah, you're all bidding 1 diamond. Well done. Good. Longest suit at the lowest level. Great. Let's move on. Just practicing this 6-point rule. In fact, we're going to play hand 1 straight away on BBO. First things first, yes, what does North open the bidding? There, the dealer, look, it's over there to the left, marked by the D. So North is the dealer. They must start the bidding. What do they bid with their 19 points? Oh, hang on. Have I? Oh, I have pressed the right button, yes. Morning, Dave H. Oh, we've got a David G and a Dave H. I see, yes. Good to keep your identity different. He's changed his mind. Well, do you open a club or a spade? If I tell you the get out of jail free card, because Bridge Prison is overcrowded, Bajir is actually building a new wing as we speak. It's going to be called the Stocken Wing, which is a great honour. But if I told you it's length before strength in bridge, would that help you? Some of you. Yeah, I think it would help you. So even though the clubs aren't very good, the 5-card suit comes before the 4-card suit. That never changes. Yeah. The 5 card suit always comes before the 4 when you're opening the bidding. South has got 6 points. What do they do with this, if anything? One spade, yeah, let's cut to the chase. And what does North do next? Well, what number of spades do they bid as North, do you think? They've got 19 points, haven't they? So, opener. Okay, and this ties in with the 2 boxes that we were ticking a few weeks ago. Have you got a fit? Answer yes. The 8 card fit, of course, is the Holy Grail. Well, especially the major suits, we like to call it the Holy Grail of fits. 8 cards or more. The second thing you're thinking about is whether to go for game or not. Have you got the 25 points for game? Well, the answer is yes, because South must have at least 6 points. And it's not rocket science, Bridge, really, a lot of it. You just add that to the 19, and that's 25. So North should jump to 4 spades. You might feel it's a bit brave, but it's the right thing to do. If North only had 12 points, you see, they'd only bid 2 spades here. But they've got enough for game, and they've got the fits. They mustn't muck around. Okay. And West is on lead, of course. South is playing it because South mentioned spades first. They are declarer, South. West, the person to the left, makes the opening lead. What lead would they make to 4 spades, do you think? Oh, well, Repton, we are playing as North. So we're assuming that Repton at the bridge table that we are holding the North cards. Yeah. Yeah, that's the reason why. Clearly, we can see it here, but we're assuming, Repton, when we do the bidding, that we're in the shoes of North. Now, we have done a little bit of this. We're going to do a little bit more of this today in the opening lead lesson in the second half of the lesson. But do you remember Jack's favourite lead from a few weeks ago? There's your get out jail free. Second time I've had to use it this morning, but that's not unusual. Do you remember Jack's favourite lead? In your replay, did you get this one right? Well, it's the ace when you've got the king. Very good. But only when you've got the king. You must have the king to back it up. Right. Well, yes, even though North bid clubs, it's okay to lead ace from ace king, Richard. Wouldn't normally lead their suit. But it does give you a free look at the dummy. Right. Let's play the cards. They might as well continue with the king. And what does West do next, do you think? Having played out the ace-king of clubs. Trying not to look at the other 2 hands, just trying to look at West's hand and North's hand, the dummy. Because remember, just to double check with you, all the cards will be hidden at the bridge table apart from dummies, which are laid out in columns if you were playing in a face-to-face game. Red, black on the table. What do you think West might do next? We're defending 4 spades. Well, someone has run out of clubs because there's been 8 clubs gone and we can see 3 on the table, that's 11. West has got one, that's 12. West knows that either East, partner, or declarer, South, has run out of clubs. So it's definitely worth a go playing the 5 of clubs, everyone, which the chat box were reluctant to do. 1 or 2 of you led the 5 of clubs. I wonder how many of you let it out in replay. because you know that either your partner or declarer has run out of clubs. Yes, morning, PJ. So that's why one of the many reasons why we call it Jack's favorite lead, ace followed by the king. You don't always have to play the king, by the way, but ace when you've got the king, should I say, because sometimes partner will only start with 2 cards and they will trump it. Okay, what next for East? Do you think? Morning, Helen. East has just trumped the 2 of spades. What card should East play next, do you think? The hand with the 3 of spades and the ace of hearts. If you're watching in replay, what would you do? Remember, you're defending 4 spades. Can I give you a clue? You've taken 3 tricks. You only need 1 more trick to defeat 4 spades. That's the clue. So East only needs 1 more trick and 4 spades is going 1 down. You are allowed to change your answers. Do I know you, Rob, by the way? There was a friend of my sister's who was going to do beginners called Rob. I wonder if it's the same one. You might like to change your mind. Yes, you can change your mind. Yeah, it's all part of the learning process. I very much would play, if I was defending as East and I knew I had 1 trick left to defeat the contract, you should play it. Yeah. Ace of hearts. If you know you can defeat the contract, you should play out your ace of hearts. Otherwise, you might not make it later on. Oh, Dave H. Oh, hello, Dave H. Yes, good. I'm glad to have met you online. I knew that you were joining us. Yes, Claudia said. Welcome, Dave H. to the class. So now, well, we are 1 down, but we still need to play out contract. So declare a draws trumps in 3 rounds, counting them. One went earlier, by the way, so there were only 4 left. Now we've got winning. We'll play out our winners quickly, but we are going to make the rest. These are winners too. They're all winners, actually. They're kind of overlapping. Yeah. Ooh, I've remembered. Stop. Just in time, Jack. What's the score going to be? We haven't had many contracts going down, but this lesson is to do with the defense as well. What's the score for 4 spades -1 being defeated, non-vulnerable? So 1 down, non-vulnerable, testing your score. I mean, half of you won't be scoring. That's absolutely fine. It's all done for you online, isn't it? It's easy peasy. But this got you. All those want to know how to score if you're ever playing with friends or at a bridge club or whatever. It is going to be 50, yes. 1 down is 50. So whatever the contract is, no trumps, clubs, 1 down is 50. 2 downs would be 100. If you were vulnerable, however, red, for vulnerable, then it would be 100 per trick. So 2 down would be 200, etc. Yeah, it's good to have some defensive hands, Leslie, as well. So good defense there. Right contract. Contracts often go down. Nothing we can do about it. Had the defense not been so sharp, then we would have made 4 space. The key, the most important thing there, having let out the ace and king of clubs, and many of you didn't do this, is to then play the 5 of clubs, hoping that partner could trump it. Yeah. And it wouldn't have mattered. If partner had got a club, it wouldn't have given anything away. Should we go back to the classroom? Here we are. Okay, I've opened one heart. You're my partner. What do you do with 13 points there? What's your best bid after I open one heart? Interesting answers. We've got 4 hearts, we've got 2 clubs, we've got 2 hearts. Lots of different answers coming in. That's good. Brilliant way of learning. The only way you learn in bridge, I've made enough of them over the years, is to make mistakes. Yeah. And to have fun learning from them. Can we think about those 2 things there? Can we think about the fit? Have you got the Holy Grail, the 8-card fit in a major? In which case you should be supporting hearts straight away. Okay, some of you bidding 2 clubs there. You possibly will get a get out of jail free. And then the second thing you need to think about, because you have the fit, 8 cards. Doesn't matter, they're not particularly good hearts, by the way. But once you've found the fit, then have you got the 25 points per game? That's the second question. You might want to change your answers. Very well done if you got this one right first time round. So in replay, I'm wondering if you realized you had to support hearts straight away. And secondly, can you go for game? Well, the chat box has sprung to life with those words of wisdom, and we must support hearts straight away. What level we to go to? Let's have a look. 4 hearts. Good. We know we've got the fit, and we know we've got the 25 points because North must have at least 12. Well done if you said 4 hearts first time round in the chat box, because many of you didn't. Yeah, tricky, you know. If you're getting the answers wrong, that's entirely normal in the beginner's class. You know, it's what we expect. Should we move on? What if the opponents have bid? Well, if the opponents have bid, responders should exercise caution and use their judgment if it means responding at too high a level. It is not essential to reply with 6+ points once the opponents have bid. Okay? And I hope that, yes, judgment, i.e. judge, just so you've got a connection to the caption. I hope I'm not in front of him anytime soon. I think he might give me he would give you quite a lengthy ban if you were caught speeding, wouldn't he? Okay. So I've opened 1 spade. East has bid 2 hearts. Over to you as South now. Do you respond now with your 6 points or not? Certainly without the overcall, you'd have bid 2 clubs. Must bid with 6 points when partner opens 1 spade, but have things changed? Just going back to the previous slide, look. If opponents have bid, responders should exercise caution. Definitely, if I was, yeah, the chat box is all passing. I would not at all fancy bidding 3 clubs there. No way. Well done. Philip is passing. Kate, Rob, Leslie, they're all passing. You know, North always gets another bid, by the way. If they've got a very strong hand, North, your partner can bid again. Yeah, it's a bridge too far, pardon the pun. And your partner, as I say, always gets another bid there. So well done. You can exercise caution there. Really, just experience tells you when to bid or not. But certainly, no way at the 3 level. Okay, so we're on to part 2 of the lesson. We've really done the 6-point rule. It's fairly straightforward. When partner opens 1 of a suit. So different there, partner opens 1 no trump. We did that last week. I'm not going to talk about that right now. Let's talk about no trump contracts. It's fairly simple. It's the lowest card from your longest suit, what we've been doing over the last 10 weeks. Except prefer to lead partner's suit if they have bid. And you might think, what's that white van doing there? What is the connection between my slides, my text, and that white Peugeot? Looks like a Peugeot, doesn't it? White Peugeot car. Have a guess. What do you think the connection is between the 2? I'll tell you in a minute. So exception, lead partner suit if they have bid. Right, so let's have an opening lead problem now. North has opened 1 spade. East, your partner has bid 2 hearts. South has got a good hand. They've jumped straight to 3 no trumps. They must have at least 13 points or more. What card should we lead out of that little lot? 2, 3 no trumps. The connection to that last slide, by the way, it's a fairly tenuous connection, is that Peugeot van is called a partner. So the model of the car, partner, and we're doing partners. Oh, well done. Oh, Richard just beat me to it. Well done, Richard. Yeah, Peugeot partner it's called, apparently. I've never owned one. Yes, Richard, it's coming back to me now. You're a friend of Derek Lunn, I think. Yes. You live in Harrogate. Well, chat box, you appear to be leading, mostly you're leading the 2 of hearts. That is the thing. Partner has bid 2 hearts. This is the exception from the rule book. Should we just have a look? Except prefer to lead partner suit if they have bid. So if you were watching replay, did you lead the 2 of hearts? Does keep partner in a good mood if you lead their suit. Okay, so that is the number 1 exception, lead partner's suit. Keeps them in a good mood. There we go. Yeah, well done if you chose the 2 of hearts first time round. Normally you'd lead the 4 of clubs, but partners lead hearts. They could easily have 5 or 6 hearts, by the way, as East. Rarely 4. So they will have a long suit. Okay, opening lead against trump contracts is slightly different. The best lead is the ace, but only when you have the king as well. I think we've discussed that. Any of those, you'd lead the ace. Yeah, apart from if you had a singleton ace, that would be a good lead as well. And it's known as Jack's favourite lead. We're trying to encourage you to remember that. That's why we call it Jack's favourite lead, ace from ace king. Another very good lead is a singleton. So, for example, say you're leading against 4 spades. If you just had a singleton club, that means just the only card in clubs, by the way, those who wondering what a singleton is. A singleton would be if you had just one of a card in a suit. So if I had the only club I had was a 5 of clubs, that would be a singleton club. Just whilst we're on the subject, if you had 2 clubs, what's that known as, do you think? If you had 2 cards in a suit in bridge. Have a guess. Have a wild guess. One of a card's called a singleton. What's 2 called? Singleton trump, Jeremy. Good question. Not a good lead. No, don't lead a singleton trump. It was a good question there. Yeah, I wouldn't lead a singleton trump. Yes, a doubleton. Yeah, singleton 1 card, doubleton. And there you go. There's a singleton. Some nice malt whiskey. I don't know if it's malt whiskey. I'm not very good on whiskey. You can see why a singleton's a good lead. If I lead my 5 of clubs and my partner's got the ace, they win it with the ace and send 1 back and I trump it. Really good lead, singletons. They're right up there at the top. Just behind Jack's favourite lead. That's clearly the favourite. Against trump contracts, I think a lot of the time in bridge, part of the battle is differentiating between no trumps and trump contracts. Yeah, they're both very different. There's a different strategy for bidding them. There's a different strategy for opening lead and a different strategy for declarer play as well. So these are all good leads against trump contracts, you know, 4 spades or 3 clubs or whatever. So it's like the rest of the family, if you like. You know, we've had Jack's favourite lead. These are also good leads. King when you've got the queen. The queen when you've got the jack. All honor cards. The jack when you've got the 10, that's fine too. And the 10 in bridge is an honor card. All good leads. Send a very useful message to partner. You know, if you lead the king, they know you've got the queen, maybe the jack. David G's got a question. Do you need 3 touching honors? Just 2. Yeah, just 2 there, David. Good question. Yeah, what more can I say? Those are really good leads, all of those. And noting that a 10 is an honor card. You don't need to tell me what those medals are, but well done if you know. I'm not good on my medals. Right, I think we need to go and play hand 2 now. On BBO. Okay, so north-south are vulnerable, everyone, denoted by the red. That's interesting. 7, 10, 18, 19 points. I'm sure you're all going to open 1 club. Yep, leg before strength, just like we did on the last hand. What does south bid with their hand there? They got 6 points, if anything. South to go, known as responder now. We've got the opener as north. South is now known as responder. Next week, very exciting. Bashir and I will tell you, well, I will tell you, maybe Bashir as well, through his emails, how to play with other players from the classroom on Bridge Base Online. This is quite exciting next week, what we're building up to. We're going to get you playing bridge together. We have a couple of time slots during the week that you can join up, and we don't organize it. We just tell you how to do it. Then you get on and play with each other bridge. So that'll be it's quite a big moment in your bridge career when you get to play with real people, friendly people. There'll be people from this class with any luck, as long as you don't mess it up. Right, it's 1 heart, of course. 6 points. We have to bid something. Longest suit at lowest level. And north, what's their rebid with 19 points? Similar to the last hand, isn't it, actually? You know, we know partner's got 6 points. I think some of you learned from your mistakes on the last hand. But most of you, I think, bid 4 spades on the last hand. So we go to 4 hearts, don't we? Yeah, we've got the fit, the 8-card fit. Yeah, I mean, minimum 8 card, 9 or 10 is even better. And we've got 19 points. We know partner's got 6, you see. So it's just a question of adding 6 to 19. Well done. So we've bid to game, which is the object of bridge, when we got 25 points. What's West's opening lead to 4 hearts? Based on what we've just done. So what you're doing, everyone, if you're wondering what to do, so you're looking for 2 honors together, aren't you? Touching honors, as we call them. Have you got touching honors? Well, the chat box telling me that you have. Definitely the best lead is the King of Diamonds. Not the Queen. No, the Queen would promise the Jack. The King of Diamonds lead promises the Queen. It's a good lose to win thing to do as well, you see, because you'll probably lose to the ace, but then the Queen will come a winner, won't it? Normally second player play low, but I think we should win this with the ace. There are exceptions. And which card do we play next from dummy, do you think? We've just won the ace of diamonds. It's always denoted by a gold bar, look. North is to play dummy. Which card do we play now? Specifically, there's 12 to choose from. I was going to go to my son's rugby match this afternoon, but no surprise, they've all been cancelled. I think probably waterlogged pitches. They had a lot of snow up here over the weekend. We're in dummy, by the way, everyone. Yes, number of different answers here coming in on the chat box. Some want to play a diamond, some are clubs, some are trump. I think it's definitely right to draw trumps here. Starting with the ace. We can trump a diamond later. You know, there's no rush to do that. I think we need to get the trumps out first. Counting them as we go. So we'll just practice that. We've got 8 between us. The opponents have got 5. All right. And I advise you just to count the 5, not the 13. Okay. So we won't rush this one. We'll go nice and slowly. That's 2 trumps have gone. And the more you play bridge and practice, and hopefully you're practicing at the moment. I know some of you might not have time. I'm not going to check up on you, but you've got the main thing, which is BBO. You can actually play in an ACOL 3-day-long tournament there now as well. You just go to competitive and then free. And it should come up at the top. Otherwise, you just put in the words ACOL, ACOL. There's 8 boards with some stuff you haven't done yet, you know, like opening at the 2 level, or the 3 level, 2 level you haven't done, or the 3 level. But, you know, you can actually just click on the bid and it will tell you, you know, what the bid means. But it will be good practice. You play 8 hands and you play them whenever you like during the day. Some of you might have been doing that already. So 2 trumps have gone. 2 more have gone. Okay, so that's 4 out of the 5. 1 left. Do we continue? Here's a question. Do we, because it's a joint effort, you and me, do we continue drawing trumps or should we do something else? If so, what? There's 1 trump left, and I've been keeping an eye on them. I know it's the Queen of Hearts. Well, I will tell you, it's called the rule of 1. What it is if there's 1 trump left, we have covered this before, but if there's 1 trump left and it's higher than yours, then leave it out. Yeah, there's no point drawing 2 of ours for 1 of theirs that's always going to win. Okay? If it was lower than ours, then generally we would draw it out. Yeah, because otherwise we might forget about it and it might make a trick later on. That Queen of Hearts is always going to make a trick. I think we need to get on with the clubs. We do, Dave H. Repton, yes. But which club do we play? Do we play the ace of clubs? Or is it better to start with the 3? Place your bets. The wheel is running. You're watching in replay. Do you think better start with the ace of clubs or the 3? One is better than the other, I tell you. And there's lots of expressions in bridge. You'll have heard a few of them already from me. But this one, we've heard this one before actually from me. You play the lower card from the longer holding. Okay? So you play the lowest from the longest. Avoids blockage. And you play the highest from the shortest. So if I was playing the clubs from my own hand, declarer, I'd start with the king, not the 2. So the lower card from the longer holding and also the higher card from the shorter holding. It will avoid blockage. Play high, followed by the queen, followed by the 2, goody good. Well, there's still 1 club left out there. What do you think we might do now? We're on the dummy. What do you think? Yes, I think, there's still one club left, but why not play another club and trump it? Good. That has the effect, everyone. By trumping that club, we've now made the 9 of clubs into a winner. Quite clever, wasn't it? But we do need to get to dummy. Well, should we try trumping a diamond? What does West do now, do you think? West has just won the Queen of Diamonds. What card should they play now? Queen of Hearts, a spade, or a diamond? What do you think? If you're watching in replay, what would you do as West, having just won the Queen of Diamonds? West, the player, of course, denoted by the gold bar down here. Oh, I don't want to leave the seat now. Defo, the Queen of Hearts. Yeah, really good. An expression I use quite a lot when I teach is 2 for 1, the supermarket special. Bog off, all that type of thing. Yeah, it's really good defense, taking out 2 of their trumps for 1 of ours. Okie dokie. Now they play a spade, let's say. Second player play low. Third player play high. Well, they come back a spade now to the king. And crucially, the 9 of clubs, everyone. This is quite important. The 9 of clubs is a winner. So we can throw the losing spade. Or diamond, actually. And we've got a trump at the end. So I'm just pausing. I have remembered just to give you the score, because it's still good to practice the score. We'll keep doing that for a little while. What are we going to score for just making 4 hearts precisely? 10 tricks. And we are vulnerable as north-south, denoted by red over to the left. So just as your scores come in on the doors, 4 hearts are worth 30, same as spades, so that's 120. And you will get 500 points for your vulnerable game bonus. So the answer is 620. It might come up with 420, but it is 620. Yeah, it says 420, but it is 620 because we're vulnerable. Well done with your scoring. Interesting hand, wasn't it? So quite interesting in the bidding, of course, the 6-point rule, then bidding to gain. The opening lead, leading that King of Diamonds was good. And then on the play of the hand, drawing trumps, crucially leaving out the Queen of Hearts. Right, let's go back to the slides. Opening lead against trump contracts. This is an order of priority. Ace from Ace King, that's why it's called Jack's favourite lead is the best. Closely followed by a singleton lead. And finally, King from King Queen, Queen from Queen Jack, etc. It's going to add a new string to your bow. Excuse my rather poor impression of an archer, if you are an archer. Okay, so let's have a little practice on opening lead. The opponents have bid efficiently to 4 hearts. Clearly, North must have 13 or more points and at least 4 card support. What's your best lead there to 4 hearts, do you think, as West? Next week's lesson actually is strong balanced hands, this time next week. So we've looked at, 12 to 14 points. Next week, we're going to look how you bid if you've got 15 to 19 points as opener and a stronger balance hand. So what's the opening lead? Well, you've got a singleton spade, haven't you? Yeah. Lead the 7 of spades. I mean, they may not win with the ace of spades first time, but they may get in with another card later. Hopefully remember that you led a spade and return one for you to trump. Yeah, so singleton is a good lead. Partner hopefully wins with the ace of spades, sends back a spade, and you trump it with the 5 of hearts. Okay, here's another one. What does West lead against 4 hearts? You've made a bid of 2 diamonds with your nice diamond suit. What's the opening lead against 4 hearts again here? If you're watching in replay, what do you think? Yeah, touching honours is another really good lead. By the way, if you don't have any of these good leads, which often you won't, you just revert back to lowest card from longest suit. But here, you've got a really nice lead of the king of diamonds. Yeah, might well lose to the ace, of course, but once you've lost to the ace of diamonds, the queen and the jack both become winners. So it's a kind of lose to win strategy. I mean, partner might have the ace of diamonds, which is a bonus. So this will send a valuable message to partner. And there's your, well, not your, there is a message in a bottle. Look, I wonder what it says. We'll never know what the message in that bottle says. Maybe it says, do you know of any good bridge teachers online? Right, leads to avoid. Don't lead out an ace without a king. Yeah, I would never do that. Just not good strategy. There was a lady once who I taught, she must have been in her 80s or 90s. She was leading out aces on this bridge weekend the whole time, aces without kings, and they'd always win tricks. But then, of course, declarer always made their king. I didn't have the heart to tell her that she'd been playing the wrong way for 60 odd years. It was quite amusing. But no, don't do that. And also try and avoid suits bid by the opponents. Yeah, it just helps them. So I try and lead the unbid suit if I can. Because that's the suit that the opponent's less likely to be strong in. Good. Opening lead is a great challenge. We've got another lesson coming up in a few weeks' time, few months' time on, opening leads against trump contracts, a bit more on that. But it's a really important card. Let's play hand 3 on BBO. We're getting on nicely for time. Sometimes I forget to press the button and you don't see the hand, by the way. You'll soon tell me, I'm sure. Let's play hand number 3 from BBO. I know quite a few of you have been practicing Bridge Base Online. This is what it looks like. 3, 6, 9, 10, 12 points. Yeah, what does South open? Let's just have a quick word on that. 6, 9, 10, 12 points. What does South open there? Must open, of course, with 12 points. Yeah, length before strength. We've talked about that a bit today, haven't we? 1 diamond. North has got 15 points. What do they bid next? 15 points. Well, again, it's just longest suit at lowest level. Yeah, even if I had 26 points, I'd still be bidding 1 hard there. 6 to 26, really. Yeah, it's very open. South, opener, as they're known, because we open the bidding. What does opener do next, if anything? We must bid again. I think that's the most important thing. When partner changes the suit like that, South can never pass. No, it's what we call a forcing bid in bridge. The reason being is that North might have only 6 points. They might have 16 points. Might have 26. So we bid 1 spade, good. To show our partner at least 4 cards in spades. So we're giving partner a choice. And North has got 15 points. What do they do next? Apart from panic. And it's quite a common theme this morning. They bid, straight to game. So no, South has 12 points. 15 and 12 is 27. We've easily got the 25 for game. And if some of you are still, I know the chat box are doing really well, but they generally tend to be the more confident people who are putting their answers in the chat box. Those who are less confident, if you're making mistakes this morning, that's absolutely fine. It's very early days, in your beginning bridge career. Practice being the key. Should we have an opening lead from West, please? What's West's best lead? Against 4 spades. Queen of Diamonds has been suggested, or the 9 of Hearts. One of the two. I agree with you. 3 of Clubs would be my third choice, lowest card belongs to. We've actually got 2 pretty good leads here to choose from. The 9 of Hearts, which is a singleton, or the Queen of Diamonds, top of a run, promising the Jack. Which do you prefer? If you're watching in replay, I'm just trying to get your thoughts. Oh, yes, thank you. Yeah, okay, I've got them. Now, hang on a second. We've been making quite a lot of use of the get out jail free card. I'm going to have to start issuing some sentences to bridge prison soon. But do you remember that a singleton is a really good lead? Even if it's the opponent's suit. Yeah, that may have flummoxed 1 or 2 of you. You can lead a singleton even if it's an opposition suit. That may have put 1 or 2 of you off. You can use it as an excuse, don't worry. Second choice would be Queen of Diamonds, by the way. But you can lead a singleton even if the opponent's a bid the suit. It's an exception. Right. Well, might play the Jack. Flush out the ace. And what do you think West's thoughts are? Let's go back a second. When East plays the Ace of Hearts, what should they do next? Having won the Ace of Hearts. And remember, East only gets to look at the dummy. The other 3 hands are all hidden, apart from dummies. So what does East do next? And what is their thought process as East, by the way? Well, just as you think about it in replay, I'll tell you what my thought processes would be if I was East. I'd be thinking, that's strange. They've led a heart when hearts have been bid by dummy. And there's quite a lot of hearts around. North's got 5 hearts dummy. I've got 4 hearts to the ace. There can't be many other hearts around there. So what I'd be thinking to myself, for those 2 reasons, I'd be thinking very much that looks like a singleton lead. I really would. In fact, I'd be a bit disappointed if my partner didn't have a singleton, although I wouldn't say anything. Of course, I'm too polite. So a heart comes back. And what does West do? Just practice that a bit. Trying to practice as much as we can. Hopefully you're getting some practice in. Of course, Bridge Base Online, the Bridge app is good on the phone or the iPad, tablet. You can just do 5 minutes here and there, 10 minutes. And Fun Bridge people like a lot as well. It's one we don't talk about so much. Very good user layout on Fun Bridge. But do set it to ACOL UK settings. We don't want you playing the American or French bidding system, if we can help it. Yes, of course, they trump it. And what do they come back, do you think? So West has just trumped it with the 4 of spades. Well, what card do they come back with? Clearly not a trump, but a club or a diamond. What do you think's best? What would West really like to happen in an ideal world? Apart from win the lottery, which tonight is £185 million. But I can't advise you to gamble, no, because you probably won't win. Well, I must admit I had a small flutter myself. But I'm definitely not going to encourage anyone to gamble. Bridge is not a gambling game, you'll be pleased to hear. Need a bit of luck, but it's mostly a game of skill. Well, there's no, but what we really like is for partner to try and, partner's got the ace of clubs. No point playing a diamond back because it's going to lose to the ace in dummy. But if we can switch to a club, dummy's weakest suit. Third pair play high. And from East, what do they do next? You'll know if I win the lottery, by the way, because the background will suddenly be like a turquoise blue sea somewhere in the Caribbean. Would be nice, wouldn't it? What does East do next, having won the ace of clubs? If you're watching in replay, so a lot of these hands are defensive hands. So clearly we're practicing the opening lead and the benefits that can have if you find the right opening lead. Yes, they must come back a heart. No, another heart. Are you with me? Partner trumped the first one. Hopefully they're going to trump the second one. In fact, they're almost certainly going to trump the second one because Declare has still got some hearts left. That's the first 4 tricks to East and West, by the way. Really good defense. Declare is just going to draw trumps now. In 2 rounds. And I'm going to save a bit of time. I'm going to claim the last however many tricks, because they're all winners for North and South. I'll just show you why. Because we can trump the Jack of clubs, you see. Yeah, all winners. We'll claim those. But we're down 1. Hang on. I wouldn't say the rules keep changing, Leslie. No, let's not go as far as that. There is very much a set of, I'm not going to call them rules, a set of guidelines how to play good bridge, and it is the odd exception. That keeps us on our toes. Okay? Most of what I tell you, it's 95% of the time right. There's the odd exception. But the rules don't change. No, they stay the same. Right. What's 1 down going to be? Non-vulnerable. By the way, 4 spades -1 is the answer. Correct. Yeah, 50 to East-West. Nothing for North-South. They don't get rewarded for failure. Well done, Stephen. Oh, hi, Peter. Good. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Nothing wrong with the contract. If you hadn't have had such good defense, you'd have made 4 spades quite easily by drawing trumps and then playing on hearts. It's that time of day, it's 10:30 UK time, when you remember just 3 things. Firstly, respond to open suit bid with 6 points. I think we're pretty good at that now. Also, respond with your longest suit at the lowest level when you're responding. When you're opening as well, you bid the longest suit, length before strength. And finally, just on the leading against a trump contract, lead the highest of your touching honors. So not just the ace when you got the king. You can lead the king when you got the queen. Only need 2 of them, or the queen when you got the jack, etc. Those are useful leads against trump contracts. But don't confuse it with no trumps. That's still the lowest card from the longest suit. You're trying to establish your long suit. Well, thank you, Kate. That is the end of the show. 10:31, so good timing. Enjoyed your company.
Oh.
Hi,
That was
Franny.
great, that show, wasn't it?
Sorry?
That was a really good class, Jack. Lots of great tips.
We're finished.
Yeah, and good tips for everyone.
I thought so. You know, we did two things really there, Franny. You know, obviously, the 6-point rule is important. And also the opening lead. It's a really important card, you know, especially against trump contracts. I love the opening lead.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get it right, though, do they?
No, we don't always get it right. And there are, you know, in a few months' time, obviously, there's we go into that a bit more deeply, the opening lead as well. So, Rick, your brain is stretching. Rick, maybe you need some of my paracetamol. I never far without it. This lesson is sponsored by paracetamol. But Rick's saying he's catching up in replay, you see, so he is a little behind. Thank you, Stephen Repton, for your company. Dave H, nice to meet you virtually. May meet you in the flesh one day. You're a friend of my sister's. Thank you, Charlotte. Tricky, Jeremy. Yes, it's not easy learning bridge. No, I think we know that by now. But you know, I think practice is the key, Franny. If they can practice in between lessons, you know, just doing 5 minutes on BBO on the app does help.
They do need to do that, or they can have another look at your replays too. I mean,
yeah, quite often the students will look at the replay again. I would generally advise doing that. Maybe leave it for a couple of days, you know, for it to sink in a bit. And certainly they've got the worksheet as well, you know, which is really useful. The worksheet that they can download. I'm sure they're doing that one as well. Well, Franny,
that's great.
Yes, thank you for hosting down under.
It was an absolute pleasure. All right, so I'll say good morning, and
yes, I'll say good night to you. It looks like you're plunged in darkness. What time is it with you?
9:30.
9:30 at night.
Yes.
Yes, it would be. Yeah. Well, thank you for staying up late for us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's most enjoyable, and it's great to see all your students. You've got quite a crowd there.
Yeah, no, they're all on. Yeah, no, they're all on good form, and it's really nice to have got a new group into the classroom. Well, Franny, sleep well. I will.
And you've got another class, so I'll buzz off and see you again on the other side.
You'll see me same time, same place. Yeah, next week.
Bye.
Thanks, Franny.